Hey, Tony Gasson here. Just popping in. Y'all got to forgive me. I'm at soccer practice and trying to watch soccer practice at the same time. Now, listen to me. Let me tell you something now. I be real humble with folks now. But you got to realize, you see what that say? That say consistency. That say consistency. You see what that say? Consistency. You see how you see a video every day? That's why I made this brand. I made this brand to remind myself to be consistent because I'm not always consistent. Now, what I want you to realize is if I really wanted to, I could take this brand and flesh it out because I own the .com, consistencygear.com, where I sell like this shirt at. One day I'm gonna start selling these necklaces to the athletes. But if I really wanted to, I could put my foot on their neck, flesh the brand out, have a multi-million-dollar brand. But see, it's a time and a season for everything. I ain't saying that I ain't gonna do it now, but it's a time and a season for everything. So sometimes you just be warming up. Just be warming up, and people be thinking they competition and don't realize your only competition is when you look in the mirror. That's my quote. I'm the one who wrote that quote. And then one day I look up and Buddy Hadden stole it and posted it, and like my goodness, what? But now listen to me. Here's what you got to realize is everything that's been said, stuff start to come to fruition. Stuff start to come to fruition when you least expect it. And one of the things that we are misunderstanding today is that words have power. They have power. And a lot of times we feel like that the stuff we saying, the common sense that's being shared is not being heard. But one thing that I'm noticing, that I'm realizing, is more and more common sense is starting to spread. And you're going to start to see people start to change their messages, change their approach, because those of us who speaking up and speaking common sense going to start to catch on. People going to start to come to their senses. And what I want you to realize is on this channel, there are countless people. So even when you see 1,000 views on a video, 100 of those views are celebrities with millions of followers. They celebrities, they podcasters with hundreds of thousands of followers. They pastors. Like, I understand human nature. And understanding human nature, I understand that these videos being watched by Beyonce and Jay-Z. They sound crazy, but you know how I found that out? I found it out because I have 3.5 million followers online, and I'll see somebody video who got 10 subscribers. I will see somebody video on Instagram or YouTube and they have 10 subscribers. So what that let me know, if I got 3.5 million people, but some kind of way the algorithm shows me somebody with 10 subscribers, what is 3.5 million divided by 10? What's 500,000 divided by 10? So think about that. That's 50,000. 500,000 divided by 10 is 50,000. So that means I'm seeing the videos of people who I have 50,000 more subscribers than they have. So now you take 500,000 and multiply it by 50. By 50,000. Do the math. Get your calculator. 500,000 times 50,000. That's how big somebody's audience could be, and they know who I am. They know that I exist. Because the way the algorithm works, if you on social media and somebody is making any kind of noise, eventually they gonna see you. Eventually they gonna see you. Because like the saying say, we only 6 degrees of separation from anybody else, from anybody that you want to reach on this planet. You're only 6 degrees of separation away. Think about it now. Think about it. So in America now, when I think about it, anybody I could think of in America, I'm 2 degrees of separation away from them. Any celebrity I could think of, at the most, I'm 2 degrees of separation away. Meaning, if I don't know them personally, anybody that I would want to reach, any celebrity I can personally think of that I would care to reach out to, or whatever, if I don't know them personally, I know somebody who knows them. And so that's how close, how small the world we live in. And so what I'm telling you is that you gotta keep the faith, you gotta keep the hope alive, because God will not be mocked. Those who are sharing the word of God, the teachings of God, and wisdom, knowledge, understanding, common sense, all of those things,
How may I help you?
Is going to be,
I'm sorry.
It's gonna get out. It's gonna get out. People gonna hear it, and you just never know. And this is what a lot of people don't understand. Sometimes people be like, oh, well, why you said such and such name in this video? It's because I might not know this person personally, and I don't have their phone number. I can't reach them. But when I put relationship coaching or life coaching advice to them on this here channel, they could come watch this and get coaching virtually and make a change in their life. And by them making that change, it could send a ripple effect to make everybody else who being finessed in that same way, make them make a change in their life. And what made me think about this is the Michael Jordan's son and Scottie Pippen ex-wife. I seen the headlines hit that, y'all gotta forgive my son practice. I'm trying to see if I could catch a little bit of it, because he always come telling me everything that happened. I be trying to see if I see some of it myself, make sure he ain't lying. I seen the news hit that they broke up. Now we don't know if that's for sure or if that's just a publicity stunt they doing. We also don't know if they're gonna get back together, because a lot of times people get back together. But a lot of times when it hit the news that a celebrity couple has broken up, even if they get back together, they end up breaking up again. And a lot of these celebrity relationships is bad for the ecosystem. Their relationship is bad because here you got a young black man who is gonna be a billionaire when his daddy died. He's gonna be a billionaire, and then you got this woman of another race who is old enough to be his mama coming and playing on him and about to get into his $1 billion empire. So that could have happened, and it could have happened on accident. Even though he probably could have been playing her too to get back at Scottie Pippen for disrespecting his dad, which is what all of us would do. All of us would do what he did. We would mess with this man, ex-wife, just out of spite for this man, because this man running his mouth about the brand. And so he could have been playing the game too. But then again, still, the relationship is bad for the ecosystem because it sent a bad message. And it okays the finessing of black billionaires. And even like Michael Jordan, had him a good wife. And it's not that I'm against interracial dating. I'm against it when it's not authentic and organic. That's when I'm against it. I'm against it when it's opportunistic. So like Michael Jordan, he goes and he gets him a white woman now. After having, I think her name was Juanita Jordan, black woman, have, black kids, and then he go take, and as a billionaire, he go to a white woman that the look of this woman will never ever in the world ever be attracted to Michael Jordan look. Because you got to remember, Michael Jordan is dark skinned, he got blood red eyes, and he got ears that stick out, kind of like satellite dishes. That's not attractive to a lot of women of his own race. But when a man get money, women go blind. That's why I don't listen to now one of y'all women in the comments when y'all is commenting on these men who is a millionaire or more, because y'all be delusional. Y'all do not be telling the truth about who look good and who don't. Once a man get money, y'all go blind. Don't even argue with me on it. Don't even argue with me. I don't want to hear it, because you be lying. And then you'll say in the comments, oh, this man not attractive, but let his millionaire behind come holler at you. He finna be the best thing. He finna be the best looking thing walking. So this what I mean by a lot of these relationships is bad for the ecosystem, because just like how Michael Jordan, he go and he get this white woman, and she could be Hispanic or whatever, but I'm saying she look white, so I'm calling her white. She could be Hispanic. She could be something else. What it sends a message to other young black millionaires and black billionaires that your own race is not good enough. It sent a message that say your race not good enough, and your race is facing poverty and generational brokenness, and your race is leading the country in debt and being broke. So and then you take your millions and you go give it to another race that's already got an advantage in your country, that's already set up for success in your country, and the race that you go give your millions to don't love you and appreciate you until you become somebody. But those who look like you loved you when you had no money. And so that's a lot of times the case. It's not always the case. So get out your feelings if that's not your case. But a lot of times that's the case. And that's what I be against. When it's not authentic, organic, I don't like that. Because, and for my sons, I'm like right now, my son's 16. He about to be 17. He goes to an all-white school. It's a private school that he goes. It's not all white, but you get what I'm saying. It's majority white. Not one of the white girls like him. Not one of the white girls have like tried to flirt with him, shoot they shot. None of that. And if you've seen my son, he's not unattractive. But these young white girls, they like the white boys. They like the white boys. So how is my son, who for one, his mama half Indian, meaning she black Jamaican and Indian Jamaican. So he have a lighter complected skin. He told me that his skin color is really, really in style right now with white women on TikTok, with white girls on TikTok. At his school, none of the white girls is checking for him. Now, if he mess around and become a pro athlete, and these same girls, this same race of girls who was not checking for him, if they all of a sudden all over him, you already know I'm shutting it down. And I'm going to remind him, son, when you didn't have $1 to your name, and you was old enough to date, and all your friends had a girlfriend, and some of your friends who looked like the bottom of a shoe who was white, had a white girlfriend. So y'all age group was dating, And none of these young ladies, before you had any money, none of these young ladies wanted you. So why all of a sudden now this particular group of young ladies want you? Absolutely not. Marry you want to? You's a dummy, you's a fool. Don't say nothing else to me. Don't say nothing to me. And that's the stance that parents have to start taking with your kids. Stop letting your kids getting sucker punched. Stop letting your kids getting taken advantage of. Stop letting your kids and your lineage. Because if when the Lord called me home, my sons immediately gonna be worth millions more than whatever they worth, because of my brand and my brand assets, and my intellectual property is a multi-million-dollar brand. I done written 20 books. That's intellectual property that they can market to no end and earn millions of dollars. The companies I done started, they could earn millions of dollars. They could take my mentor.life, which is the competition for these other sites that have raised $100 million. They could clean it up and go raise $100 million and turn it into a $1 billion company. My mentor.life. Go on there and book your session with a life coach so you see how smooth and easy it works. That's my creation. So when the Lord called me home, boom, that's my sons now. That's my sons, and they can change it, evolve it, turn it into whatever. And so if these young ladies who is dating is bullying my son, they picking on him, making fun of him. You know, they make little jokes. Mess around and let them go pro, and then they come back. I always had a crush on you. I'm gonna have to fight her daddy, cause I'm gonna say, listen here, little scallywag. You talk to my son ever again, and you might not talk to nobody else, cause I'm gonna be calling you everything in the book every day. Get from around here. Get from around here. This boy done been handsome since handsome been handsome, and you ain't want nothing to deal with him. Don't come bother them now. And I'm gonna tell him, son, you go out there and you go where you celebrate it. Because when I take you to the game, when I take you to the football game, where I come from, all them little black girls, ooh, look at him, ooh, hey, ooh. They looking at you like you the best thing since sliced bread, but you ain't got them. Them type of girls don't go to his school. They don't go to his school. And don't y'all be, why you don't send him to the school? No, I'm not sending my son to old ghetto hood school. No. Because it's a cheat code in these private schools. What they learning in this private school, they don't learn this stuff in the public school system. Ever. Not that they learn it in the 12th grade. They don't ever. Well, my son in the 11th grade, colleges is teaching this stuff in the junior year of college. That's the cheat code. That's how these kids out of these private schools end up working the best jobs, living in the best places. All these kids walking past my van, breaking their neck. Like, listen, son, you see the lights on in here. Stop being so nosy. But they look, what's going on? And see, that's the thing. My son is blessed. And even as blessed as he is, these young ladies still don't want him. He told me, he says, Dad, I ain't got no motion. He said, I ain't got no motion with these young ladies. I said, you know what, son, that's God. That's God. Because all a girl will be right now is a distraction. Because you don't know what love is. You too young to be worried about love. And God got something for you to give you a platform for his glory. So that's God. God got you in protective custody. But when you come out of it, don't let somebody who was bullying and making fun of you and had all these little jokes come like, oh, can I have a ticket to the game? No. Ticketmaster. Ticketmaster.com. Thank you. And see, this the thing. I'm not racist at all. I ain't racist at all. What I am is fair. And one of the things that is upsetting me is how blind and dumb and self-hating so many black men are today. And these black men are looking down on their own women, on women who are of color, looking down on their own woman. And today they going to hand pick a woman of another race because they think that woman is superior to their own race. Now, to the men who they met a woman of another race and they did not have an inferiority complex with her, and they just thought she was a good person and she was wife material, like she wife quality, and they went on a date or they were doing a project together in class and they hit it off, I'm not against that. I'm not against, love is blind. I'm not against being with people of other races. I'm not against. What I'm against is people being opportunistic and getting with a particular race, a person of a particular race, just because they got a name or they doing something big in college or in adulthood. And then I'm also against people being self-hating to where they hate their own kind, they hate their own race, they hate their own heritage, their own nationality, or whatever it is. It's sad. And we got to do better. We got to do better because there's so many young black men that are becoming millionaires. And these men, it's so many black millionaires now through pro sports, through just pro sports alone. These young men, if they realize and understand that a black woman is lovable, that a black woman is a good woman, that a black woman is not your nemesis, is not your enemy, that a black woman who is a nasty woman, like disrespectful and all of that, she's a product of her pain. She a product of her environment. That woman has been victimized since the age of 3 or 4, and that's what made her that way. But black women protect black men every day. Like, think about this now. Think about this and be honest. How many black women have gone through what Jonathan Majors, what the young lady of another race said Jonathan Majors did to her? Yeah, you ask Cherie Gaskins if it's ever been a little bit of furniture moving on a particular argument. Man, come on. That's every relationship. That's every relationship. But as soon as he left her, as soon as he was done with her, as soon as she seen something was going on, I'm pressing, I'm filing everything, I'm telling everything. This man done lost it now by all. And that's what these men don't understand. When you going out here to people who don't understand your struggle, don't understand your trauma, don't understand your pain, don't understand how hard it is to become what you have become, the moment that it is not opportunistic for them, the moment that it's not going the exact way that they want it to go, they gonna expose you. They gonna expose you and they gonna ruin you. They is gonna ruin you. And that's what's bothering me. So to the white people who see this, don't think that I'm racist. I ain't racist. I'm just against these young black men. I'm upset by these young black men who hating themselves and thinking that a woman of another race is superior to the women of their own race. And they going to these women and they taking generational wealth to these women who come from generational wealth. Or even if not coming from generational wealth, come from a lineage and a race that can more easily create it. When love is not found, love is created. So the same way a black man can go and get with a woman of another race and create love is the same way he can create love with a woman of his own race. And that's the thing. It's like, if you going to choose, like you going out to just choose, like you looking for your wife and you about to hand pick your wife, then why not pick somebody who look like you and who understand what it feels like to have your skin complexion, who understand what it feels like to be you in your country. Like if you're going to hand pick. Now, if you sitting down in class or at Starbucks and you just happen to strike up a conversation and you talking to this young lady and she's of another race and she's amazing and she don't know that you a millionaire, she don't know that you 100,000 now, she don't know what your job title is, she don't know none of that, then that's totally different. That's totally different. It's totally different. Totally different. Because now that's organic. Y'all met on a heart level. But today, that's not what we have happening. We not having that happen. Like, it's so many black men today that want them a woman of another race. And it's not organic. And this what one lady, she was like, well, Tony, this how people try to use your story against you, not realizing that if you telling your story, it's gonna make sense. And if it don't make sense, that means you miss part of the story. So a lady said, Tony, you know, you're not being honest because you saying that your wife wasn't your type when you met her, but you said that you met her on 2 different occasions. The first time I seen my wife, it was my wife and it was a little white girl. And I walked up to them and I said, hey, what's up? Like, hey, what's up? And I was like, you got a boyfriend? I can't remember if it was my wife first or it was the little white girl. I think it could have been my wife. She said, yeah. And then the little white girl, I said, you got a boyfriend? She said, yeah. I said, wow, both of y'all taken? So y'all can't talk to nobody? They were like, no. I was like, all right, hey, y'all have a good time. Y'all going to the pool party or whatever? And she's like, yeah. My wife was on crutches. She looked taller than me because she was on crutches up on the arm, and she had her hair down and it was curly, like after it just got wet. So the next time I'm walking through the mall, I look over and I see this young lady who I thought was a Puerto Rican. I thought she was cute. I did not say, and this God heaven truth, I did not say, wow, she bad. Ooh, oh. I said to myself, oh, she cute. She look approachable, like she look doable. And I ain't been with no Puerto Rican that's that skin color. I want to knock her off. So I approached her for a one-night stand. And then when I talked to her, I got to know, when we sat down and we talked, I found out she was Jamaican, not Puerto Rican. So then I say, oh, well, you could come to the cookout. This is what I said in my head. Jamaican, like, we see Jamaicans as black people. Me, because I grew up with the Jamaicans I was around, they was dark skinned. So I had never seen no lighter skinned Jamaican. I ain't understand. I'm like, hold on now. And I know it's Jamaican and I know it's Puerto Rican. I'm just pronouncing it the way my grandmother from Selma, Alabama pronounced those 2 terms. So I'm like, hold on. I'm like, how you Jamaican? And she was like, well, my dad is like an Indian Jamaican and my mom is a black Jamaican. I was like, oh, okay. So now I'm like, oh, so you count. Like, I could take you home because your mama black. I could take you home. See, where I'm from, I couldn't really take a white woman home. I had dated white girls, but not in a serious way, because there's color lines where I'm from, Polk County, Florida. The 2 white girls I dated, both of them, I dated them again just for sex. Same thing I approached my wife for, because my wife, she was lighter skinned. I wanted a woman my color. I didn't want a light skinned woman. And the reason why is because I dated a white girl in college, and she slept with 5 other guys while we was together, and those 5 guys was black guys. So I wanted to get as far away from a lighter hue as possible. And I wanted me a brown skinned woman, even though my mama is very light skinned. She lighter than my wife. But I wanted me a brown skinned woman just because that was my preference. Also because most of the brown skinned women had a booty. And I liked, my favorite feature of a woman was the booty. And if they wasn't a certain hue, a lot of time they booty didn't sit the way that I wanted to sit. And that was true for my wife. She did not have the shape that I was attracted to. But what she had was the conversation skills, the communication skills, the personality, the ambition, the goals, the dreams, the faith in God. And that's what she showed me, that she is a wife. So she won my heart by being a wife, even though she wasn't my preference. And that's what the lady missed. And when I seen my wife in the mall, I had no clue that I had already tried to talk to her. Because when I seen her the first time, her hair was down and it was curly. And it literally was 10 seconds. And contrary to women, men, we don't remember every face and every feature the way women do. My wife knew it was me. And so when we started talking, she said to me, and I think for her, it probably was more surreal because she knew I was the same person. Because my look didn't change. Low cut, same face, everything. So my look didn't change. So for her, it was more like, wow, this dude done tried to talk to me twice. And God be my witness, when I'm sitting there talking to her in the mall, she's working. That was another thing. I'm like, wow, she working. But when I'm sitting there talking to her in the mall, I had no clue that she was the same person. And so a lot of times people today, they will look and they'll see my wife is lighter skinned and they'll say, oh, you just like all the other men, because they don't know the backstory. It's nothing against light skinned women, but it just wasn't my preference. My fiance that I was with for 2 years, whose name was tattooed across my stomach, that when I got with my wife, it now is a Black Panther. But my fiance that I was with for 2 years, who got my name tattooed on her hip, that I'm pretty sure she got covered up now, she was my color. And we was engaged to get married. But I'm Christian, she's Muslim. But she wasn't like a practicing Muslim. And she converted to Christianity. But she drank, she smoked, she cursed, she popped pills. I did not want that type of woman, but I was playing football in West Virginia, and she was the only somewhat attractive black woman at that whole campus to me. We only had 1,600 students. So I was dating her out of convenience, and I knew that. And so when I met my wife, I'm like, this is a wife. And me and the other young lady was very toxic and all that. So I went ahead and called it quits with her. And we was long distance too. I'm in Florida, she was in Georgia. So we called it quits. We wasn't a fit anyways, but we just was out of convenience. And we was 18, 19 years old. So it just was one of them things. So that's what happened. And then, time to go. So that's what, so my thing, it ain't about, color and all of that. And so some people don't realize that, and they think that, oh, I'm into colorism and all that. I just analyze and evaluate the world, and I just keep it real, and I just talk about this stuff. And there is a lot of colorism in this here world. There's a lot of colorism in the world, and a lot of times people don't really be honest about the colorism that's in the world. And a lot of times black men hating themselves and they going to pick a white woman or a Hispanic woman to marry because they despise their own race. And that should not be. If you get a white woman or a Hispanic woman or an Asian woman, it should not be because you think their race is superior to your race. So when I thought my wife was a Puerto Rican, unfortunately, and no disrespect to the Puerto Ricans, I was going to use her body. And that's a truth that a lot of people don't want to tell, because a lot of these black men are being used by these women of other races for their man parts, for their body. A lot of these black men are a fetish, and they don't realize that it's no different than Sambo the slave putting wood on the slave master wife because the slave master got him a 2-incher. Son, get in the car, I got to go. Hey, God bless you. We'll pick this up later. It's a little too real.